we're able to do all these different things. Whenever anyone contacts us, we try our hardest to get back to every single communication that we get, whether through email or phone. Some people may argue with that, but we do try really hard to keep in close contact with everyone that tries to contact us, and at very least, if we're not able to help them specifically what they're doing, we'll at least be able to say, hey, you should talk to this person, and they'll know. Or, you know, if somebody asks for a space for an event, we could say, hey, our space isn't available, but there's a couple other spaces that might be right for your thing. So that kind of helps us expand our network as well. You know, that if we look from an online perspective, I think we look a lot bigger than we are because of that aspect of what we do, is trying to make sure that we keep a completely open door atmosphere to everything we do, and make sure that we're able to help out as much as possible, even when time doesn't really allow it.
So the other thing, so you know, not only does this network bring people to the fold, but the network, as well as the 7 of us here, when we collaborate, it allows us to do things we never would have been able to do on our own. You know, we can just sort of look back on the things that we've had to know to do what we've done so far. I mean, web development, illustration, design, photography, that's all kind of par for the course in the creative area, but you know, letterpress, that's very that's very niche. Jingle writing, I mean, Alex is great at that and wrote our you know, blogging, honestly, getting in that blogging mentality, I would give kudos to Chad and Dave for doing that. I mean, they held the fort down on that blog for months, and really, while the rest of us maybe caught up to it. Plumbing, electrical, you know, it goes on and on and on.
And there's other things like accounting and, you know, paying your bills and permitting and getting business license. I mean, there's another end to this that isn't on the list, but is needed in a venture like this. There's the administrative things. I mean, to pay sales tax every month, every quarter, however you do it, and to pay taxes, and to be registered, and to make sure that what we're doing is not completely illegal, and like, you know, get sponsorships, get alcohol at our events. And there's a lot of behind-the-scenes administrative work that we have to do, but because there's 7 of us, we can divvy it up, and it's not necessarily just one person doing all of the work.
And we didn't start with, I mean, we didn't not do anything until all of those things were in place. We very much tried to keep the ball rolling with put our website up. Yeah, we don't have a license. Yeah, we're not registered.
We just got a business license.
We just got a business license. And we learned all of those different things and what we had to do through our network. And people were very supportive of that, even down to equipment. I mean, we got a lot of our equipment donated right to us just because people were psyched about what we were doing. And but none of that administrative stuff should hold you back. It's not. It needs to happen. Yes, it doesn't necessarily have to be on the books right away. So if any of you guys are trying to push forward with something like that, don't let that part hold you up. It's easy enough to figure out once you get to that point.
Well, like I said, the beautiful thing is we can go back to this group of people, and if there's something we can't do, we can pull someone from out here or out here that can do it. I mean, no, I like this all the time. But you know, from photography to video to, like you said, the accounting. I mean, you know, we don't need to know it all to get it done, and you just need to have the courage to go out there and ask a friend to help you with it and bring them into the fold a little bit. So, and we can talk a little bit more about, I mean, Chad, you mentioned how we got the equipment. You know, within 6 months of finding the space, it was incredibly rapid. We had the core set of everything we needed. We had our 100-year-old letterpress. We had 8 cases of type. We had the silkscreen set up. We had a flat file. We had drying racks. All of this equipment that was a dream, really, when we sat in a coffee shop in River North 6 months earlier. Someone wanted to start talking about like where we looked and how we did that.
Gave a lot of it to us. I mean, we bought our letterpress from a 80-year-old woman in Sleepy Hollow, Illinois, who had 6 presses. She'd been running the presses since she was, you know, with her dad in her dad's shop, and her husband her husband wanted the garage back to become a garage, so we bought this press from her. But the type was donated. It was this idea again of putting it out there. There were so many people around us who had this equipment laying around. It's like, if you're going to take care of it, if you're going to give it a home, if you're going to like love it, you know, like then we'll just take it. And I hope that we've tried to do that back. But a lot of the stuff just we put out an open call and they were just out there. And I mean, the only thing we paid for was the press and building our darkroom out, and I mean, a lot of the stuff was just here.
And it wasn't something that we went out asking people specifically for. It was just the general conversation about, hey, you know, we're trying to set up this and this, and you know, kind of people asking us what we were up to and what we were about. And it wasn't like, hey, do you have 8 cases of type that we can? It was very much people like we're talking about what we're doing. They're like, oh, well, I got all this shit in storage. It's been there for 10 years. Anything you carry, just take. Which is literally how the type stuff came about, the type cabinet. So, and I mean, our space was found through Craigslist, right?
Yeah, through Craigslist. I mean, half the furniture we have was found through, you know, again, Craigslist and eBay and garage sales and stuff that we would bring and things people would give us. And I mean, that's what gives it that sort of homey feel.
Yeah, and we're also really fortunate to have, again, this network of people. And we have, you know, a furniture store that's right next to us that loans us furniture for events if we need us. Post 27, they're called.
Which was an amazing coincidence.
Yeah.
Post 27 opened up about the same time we were opening up.
But even down to stuff like if we're going to have an event, we're not thinking about furniture. Like, that's the last thing we're thinking about. But then that, you know, like the couple days before, we're like, where are all these people going to sit down their drinks? What is going to happen here? So it was something that just we happened to go over there just because we saw it opened and we were excited about what we were doing. And we were like, well, you know, we're looking for furniture, and you guys got a lot of sexy furniture in here. You want to give us some for and they were very excited about helping us out with that. And it actually turned out to be a benefit. They lent us a lot of stuff, and we ended up paying for and keeping a lot of it. So, but yeah, it always, you never know where you'll get that boost from.
The website was a great example of that too. I think we've talked about it a lot, but you know, I personally am a flash guy. I could never have built this. Chad, you and Dave blog the heck out of it forever, and now we all are. But it's again sort of that divide and conquer mentality. No one person is responsible for it, and if it doesn't have activity, we're all kind of responsible for it. Same thing with the store. You guys want to talk about just how we even handle shipping stuff?
It's pretty loose. We don't have any department, it's us, you know, and we're all responsible for anything that we sell. It's a shipment, and sometimes some people are a little bit better at it than others, but you know, it always gets shipped out. One of the cool things about us being small, and you know, if I've shipped prints to people and somehow, somewhere they got lost or they got damaged along the way or something, or I've even had people say, you know what, I ordered a print of yours and then my kid ripped it up the next day, you know, what can I do? And I'll ship them another one for free. You know, it's just nice to build that, like, that sort of relationship with people and not be, you know, the jerks that they just want to store with you. And this, I'm sure there is. These secrets.
You know, the gallery is, again, sort of a big undertaking, and the way we have divided responsibility there is basically each person has to curate at least one show a year, and they are responsible for bringing in content, developing a concept, or bringing in an artist. After that, it's kind of fair game. I think everyone, unless it's a collaborative curation, has been really responsible for promoting the thing, getting signage, graphics, all of that, contacting press. And then, you know, the family jumps in as needed. Again, using that network, everyone promotes to people they know, leverages those contacts they have. Email, again, has been amazing for, I would say, every single show. Another woman, Talia, has been pretty integral in setting up sort of our checklist of things we go through. But that, in a nutshell, is it. You know, could one person curate 12 shows a year? Absolutely not. You'd never get any work done. But you know, that's sort of the divide and conquer thing.
And if you do, it needs to be a money-making venture.
Yeah,
just not
absolutely.